Hello and welcome back to the Angry Day Podcast. I am here with my next guest, Arizona Carl, my brother-in-law. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Introduce yourself to the world.
Hello, world. I'm Carl.
You were, what year were you born?
83.
1983 in Phoenix, Arizona?
Yes, sir.
And you lived there your whole life?
Yes, on and off most of my life.
Talk to me about your early childhood. Any brothers and sisters? What was mom and dad like? What was that early childhood like?
I have an older sister. She's 7 years older than me. Not so much of a relationship as we've gotten older. You know, we've drifted apart.
Yeah.
Her life went one way, mine went another.
Yep.
Mom and dad, good.
Yeah.
Always been there for me. Anything I ever needed, they were always there.
Yeah. What was early childhood like in your house?
It was rough. My mother was a single mother when I was very young. My dad is my stepdad, obviously.
Yeah.
And she got mixed up in the 80s, you know, trying to raise a child on her own with no money. There was
Right.
no money there, and
Right.
the wrong crowd. She got into drugs, selling drugs. When I was 4 years old, I remember getting off the bus to a boyfriend she had telling me that your mother's in prison and you're never going to see her again.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Where did you go after that, or did she go to prison?
Yes, she went to prison for 2 years
Okay.
for a joint.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that should tell you how far back that was.
Yeah.
But yes, I went to my biological father that I had no idea who this man was.
Yeah. How long did you stay with him?
I was with him a year and a half.
Okay. And then she got out?
Yeah, she got out on parole and instantly came and got me
Gotcha.
and worked her ass off ever since then to provide for me and give me the right life.
Right. And your older sister, is it the same mom?
No, same dad,
Gotcha.
but my mother did raise her. Her
Oh.
mom was a drug addict, deadbeat.
Yeah.
Gave birth to her and abandoned her. When my mom was married to my biological father, my mom raised his daughter and me. And
Yeah.
when he left, she kept his daughter and me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And so you're six and a half when she gets back. Did it start to settle down a little bit?
It did. It did. You know, she had met my dad
Okay.
right out of prison.
Okay.
And he was the type of guy, he don't put up with no BS. You know, if you're going to be with me, you're going to be with me and we're going to raise our kids and this is the way it's going to be.
Right.
You know, he was what she needed and what I needed.
Right. Talk to me about like middle school. What was it like at that point?
Middle school, you know, chasing women, trying to fit in with everybody, find yourself.
Yeah.
Fighting a lot of fighting. You know, I was in martial arts and I boxed Golden Gloves for a couple of years. And, you know, when you do that, you think you're Billy Badass as a teenager.
Right.
Until you meet that kid that's a foot shorter than you and just whoops your ass, you know.
Always somebody tougher.
Always.
How about, what were you like during like that middle school era, like before high school?
I was a punk. I
Yeah.
was just an obnoxious punk.
Yeah. Just like, and what was the neighborhood like that you grew up in? Explain that to everybody.
Oh, I lived in Glendale, Arizona at the time, and it was great. It was a 1 mile square that everybody went to the same school, shopped at the same grocery store. We did the same things. And there was probably 30 of us that were such tight knit friends
Okay.
that, and some of us are still friends today. I remember we would battle other neighborhoods. Like they would come over and try to take over. And I mean, we would just brawl with these kids, you know, and it wasn't over anything important. It was just over, don't come in our neighborhood and talk
Yeah.
smack, you know, and
Right.
being dumb kids.
And were you guys like hanging out on like in the street? And,
Oh yeah. I'm front yards. The schools, walking the streets.
what were you guys like into? Was there sport? Was it a sports kind of neighborhood?
Well, see, I played baseball and football when I was younger.
Okay.
I played baseball up until my freshman year of high school.
Yep.
Which I should have stuck with it. I was actually pretty good. I was a second baseman.
Yep.
Football was natural. Day one of high school, they came and recruited me. You know, I mean, I was 6 foot, 170 pounds, freshman, and every other kid was like 5'2",
Yeah,
five
right.
three. They're like, come
Right.
here, look at this guy. And I played. I went to one practice as a freshman and instantly got moved to varsity football.
Oh, wow.
And I did that all through freshman year as well. And then the girls were just hot and heavy, and I found myself chasing more women instead of chasing the grades and the dream. I should have stayed with that, but
Right. How about what was like the like racial makeup? Was it a mixed neighborhood?
it was predominantly white and Hispanic. There's a lot of
Right.
Hispanic in Arizona.
Right. That's where the 5'2" comes in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my people, if the short people. I mean, I'm not Mexican. I'm short. Um, so tell me about. All right. So now you're in the high school. Tell me about Carl in high school. What were you like?
I don't want to say I was a follower, but I had all my friends were older than me. They
Yeah.
were all 2 and 3 years older than me, and you try to do the same things they're doing to fit in, and
Yeah.
90% of it was bad. It was all bad,
Yeah.
and then like I said, the girls. I was a freshman dating a senior.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, had to be the big man on campus because my friends were much older than me, dating seniors and college girls and partying. Going to parties on Friday night, Saturday night, and not doing my homework that was due Monday, and being a dumb teenager.
Yeah. Did you finish school? What did you do?
I did not. I dropped out at the end of my freshman year. My father got me sick. We needed me to run our family business.
Okay, talk to me about that.
Well, my parents owned a sandblasting painting company as well as a trucking company,
Yeah.
and we had a driver to drive for the trucking company, but nobody for the sandblasting painting.
Right.
And my dad had always brought me to work with him and showed me how to run the family business, and when he got sick, it was either go to school or and be homeless or get your ass out there and work and pay the bills and help your mother.
Right.
And that's what I did. I put my boots on and my big boy pants and I went to work.
And you're how old? 14, 15 years
I
old?
was 15 years old.
Wow.
We lived in, at that point, we had moved. We lost our house in the city. So we moved 30 miles away to a town called Carefree, Arizona, which is in the mountains a little bit.
Yeah.
And that was a culture shock for me. 15 years old, used to the city, my friends, girlfriends, to our first day on the property. I wake up and there's a dead cow in my driveway.
Right.
So I'm like, what in the hell is going on? Where'd you move me to?
Right.
And
Yeah.
driving back and forth 30 miles just to get to the city at 15, no driver's license.
Yeah.
I had to do what I had to do.
Yeah. And then you're driving, you're going to jobs and just
Yep.
doing. Did you have a crew with you, or are you doing your jobs mostly on your
I
own?
did. I had a two men that worked for my dad, and I had to make sure they were doing the work as well as
Yeah.
me, and I had to pay them and order material, bid jobs, make sure the quality control,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it was hard for a 15-year-old Carl,
I'm sure.
stress.
And how long did that last? How long did you do that for?
I did that for a solid year.
Did you? And how about after that? You didn't go. You didn't get to go back to school at that point.
I did not. I didn't go back to school till I was 25 years old after I'd had children and had to make an example, I should say, for my kids. How can I tell them to go to school if I don't have an education?
Yeah.
So I went and got my GED, and
Awesome.
then I enrolled into a technical school to where I could get a 2-year degree super fast. I got it in 9 months.
Yeah.
Got my associates to where I can tell the girls, hey, I do have a college degree.
Yeah.
You go get it. If I can do it, you can do it.
Right. If I could do it with kids in the house
Exactly. And
and
a 10-year gap in my education.
yep. So talk to me about, so yeah, you're working from like 15, you're basically running a family business, 15, 16 years old. Your dad gets better.
He
And
does.
then what do you do after that?
Once he got better, a lot of the stress was off of me,
Yeah.
and I started slacking off a little bit. I had free time. I still work with him every day,
Right.
but we had moved from Carefree back into the city,
Okay.
over towards Paradise Valley, actually, which is a little bit of an upscale neighborhood.
Right.
I started drinking at a local bar. I was 17.
Right. I'm
I
not laughing at you. I just, I mean, I started drinking at 13, 14 years old. So
Oh, me too.
yeah.
Parties and stuff. But I actually got into my first bar. And
Yeah.
you think you're king shit. Then you've got the world by the balls. Drinking with the big boys, shooting pool on Friday nights, throwing
Right.
darts.
Yeah. I mean, you were already an adult at that point anyway, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Age didn't make me an adult. The life experience grew me up.
Right. Right.
And I started messing around, sleeping with the bartender that was 37 years old.
Yikes. Did
Yeah,
she actually have any idea how old you were?
she thought I was 22.
Yeah.
I had tattoos, a
Right.
goatee,
Right.
and that was fun. We'll just say it was fun for about a month, and then she started treating me like I was her child.
Yeah.
You're gonna wear this. We're gonna go here. You're gonna eat this with me, and I tell her, no, that doesn't go that way. This isn't gonna work.
Right. And so what was life like? Were you did you get did it get out of control at all? Or
It did. It
yeah.
really got out of control, and I was drinking every day. It went from Friday, Saturday to every day. I would get off of work. I would go to the same bar, and I would drink till 2 in the morning. Pour myself into bed. Get up at 6.
Yeah, and go to work. Did your parents know what was going on, or how?
They had an inkling of what was going on. My dad, he would smell booze on me at 6 in the morning.
Yeah,
Eyes are bloodshot red. I can't keep my eyes open, but I was still there, and that was all that mattered. And I showed up, and
you were
then
working.
I was working, and then he told me it's getting out of control, boy. Time to put the brakes on, and I did. I stopped for a little while,
Yeah,
broke up with the bartender. Everything was slowing down,
yeah,
and then my cousin had came into town, and he wanted to go drink.
yeah.
We walked into the bar. There was Misty, the bartender. She came up to me. She goes, "I got someone I want to meet you to meet." I said, "I don't know about that." She goes, "No, no, 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 no. It's what you're looking for. Short, brunette with an accent." And here come your sister, Teresa.
Wow.
And I fell in love.
Yeah. And how old were you at that point?
I was 17 years old,
17. Teresa was what, 19?
19.
Right, when she first got out there.
Yep.
Um,
And it was fun. Did everything and anything I could do to get to know this little girl.
yeah. And how long did it take for you to like take her out? Tell me about that.
Well, I would come to the bar every day after that point. Once I met her, I came to her work every single day, not even to drink, just to sit there and talk with her. I would walk her home. And it was about 2 weeks, I of me walking her home every night at 2 in the morning. And I asked her if I could kiss her,
Yeah,
being a gentleman.
yeah,
And she said, absolutely. So we kissed. And then it was a little bit more,
yeah.
and I come in one day and went to go give her a kiss and a hug and get a beer. And she tells me, I can't talk to you no more, out of nowhere.
Oh wow.
And I'm like, what's the deal with this? She just, I can't talk to you anymore. You got to go. And I look over and there's some jerk off looking out the kitchen window at me.
Uh huh.
That happened to be her ex-boyfriend that followed her to Arizona.
Yeah, I know that guy.
Yeah. Me and you know him real well. On kind of the same aspect too. So being me, being a dickhead, excuse my language,
Yeah, no, you're okay.
I drank a $400 tab that night,
Yeah.
and I stiffed your sister on it.
Oh, did you?
I sure did. I
Good for
walked out
you.
the bar.
That's
I
fantastic.
wrote a note to have the asshole pay it,
Yeah, right.
and I left. I didn't come back for almost 6 weeks.
Okay,
I thought she would have been long gone with Mr. Boyfriend.
right.
And we go back up there, me and my cousin and my brother, my best friend.
Yeah,
But we go in and there's Teresa. She instantly runs up to me. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
yeah,
I was like, all right, whatever. And had one beer left. The same day, my father was grocery shopping at the store next to her work.
yeah.
He had recognized Teresa and he asked her for a light. And before she could say yes, no, anything, this asshole comes up. Who the fuck you think you are talking to my girl,
The same day that Teresa said sorry to you?
Yes, yes, yes,
Oh,
yes,
God. All right.
So my father comes home and goes, hey, that little girl from the bar that you were talking to, she's got some Billy Badass wannabe.
Yeah,
Told me the situation. So me being me, I jumped in my car and hauled ass up there.
yeah.
And here's Teresa and him fighting and arguing through the parking lot. And I pulled up and started open hand smacking this kid. Every time he'd say a word, wham! Oh, what you were wham! What wham! And I hit him about 12 times. Never punched him, open hand smacked him,
Oh, yeah, that's worse.
Oh, yeah. If you're going to act like a bitch, I'm going to treat you like one,
Yeah,
And so he kind of got the hint. And I looked at Teresa and I said, this ain't even about you. He will not disrespect my father.
right.
Got in my car and left.
Yeah, he liked to disrespect fathers, apparently.
Apparently, I heard the story about your father,
Yeah.
This guy, he's got it in. Hopefully, he's made peace in God, and whoever he's with, he respects their father.
Right. Hopefully,
Hopefully,
cleaned his act up. Who knows?
I wish the best for the guy, or the box for the guy.
Doubtful,
Uh huh.
or at least maybe he can be as tough as he acted like.
Exactly. Mr. Tough Guy persona,
Yeah.
he was a bitch.
So let's take a step back. Do you have like a best memory of childhood?
Best memory of childhood. That's a hard one. I mean, there were so many bad ones.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I asked you about the best one. I know it was a little bit of a struggle, right?
Yeah, probably our first like real big Christmas after my mom had met Rick, my dad,
Yeah.
and he just spoiled the shit out of me. I think I was 7, 8.
Yeah. It's like that first sense of stability.
Yes, we finally got stability. A Christmas tree, Christmas dinner. There was more than two presents under a Christmas tree. And that man, he busted his ass. I mean, he bought me a bicycle,
Yeah.
basketball, and it was 89, 88, 89.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there still wasn't a lot of money out there, but he did the best he could with what he had. And he
Yeah.
just showed me, here you go. You're my son now, and I'm going to give you everything I possibly can.
Yeah. It was a father to you.
Exactly. Because Rick couldn't have kids.
Right. Okay.
And when he met my mother, she, right out of prison, before she could even say anything to him, she told him, I have a son.
Yeah.
He said, well, let's go get him.
Yeah.
And it was on from there. They went and got an apartment and then went and picked me up from I call him my sperm donor.
Yeah. Did you have any really contact with him after that at all?
No, not until I was 18 years old. And me and Teresa, I ended up getting his number. My sister gave it to me and Teresa.
Yeah.
And I wanted just to see where I came from because I really didn't remember him.
Right.
And we drive over there and we get to his house and he's trying to put pictures up of me as I'm walking in the door.
Oh, Jesus
And,
Christ.
I'm telling him, don't do that. Don't try. You've had these pictures for how many years? I mean, they're my baby pictures. I look nothing like that anymore.
Right.
So why are you trying this hard? You don't have to do that.
Right.
And before the visit's over, he comes over and asks me if he can borrow $100.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, I'm 18 years old and I've got more going on for me than a man that's in his 50s now. And it just it was a shocker.
How about since then? Any contact really or anything?
Yes, about 4 years ago. He messages me on Facebook, tells me he's changed his life. He's a Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah.
I have a younger brother, a half brother, and he wants me to come meet him and be a positive role model for this kid,
Right.
which I wish the best for my brother David.
Yeah, of course.
I hope that Scott, my biological father, does everything for him that he didn't do for me and my sister.
Yeah.
Be the dad, be the father, be the man.
Right.
It's I tell your sister every day, if I was to die tomorrow, all I want for my kids is to go, damn, dad was an awesome dude. He did everything for me
Right. Yeah. Because of that experience.
because of
Right.
that experience. I'm not having that from him.
Right. Yeah. All right. So talk to me. All right. You meet your love of your life, my beautiful little sister. And how was she at that time?
Oh, my wild and crazy little Philly girl.
uh, and so you guys make life together.
We
And
do. The first year was a lot of partying and getting to know each other.
yeah.
She worked at the bar. I worked for my dad's business. So I'm leaving at 3, 4 in the morning, and she's
Yeah.
getting home at 2 in the morning.
Yeah. And my sister's committing felonies by having sex with a 17-year-old.
Oh, she was a baby raper. She
Sorry.
robbing a cradle.
Sorry, girls.
Yes, sorry.
Your daughters are in the room right now. All right. So then you guys are together for a few years, and then Michaela comes. How old were you? She's 17 now.
I was 22 years old when we had Michaela. We were together 5 years before we had kids.
And talk to me about those first 5 years. So just getting to know each other, sort of.
Yeah, we had our battles. I'm not even gonna lie, Dave. We
Yeah.
drug abuse,
Yeah.
it wasn't even abuse, partying, being kids, and
Yeah.
meeting people that were no good for us.
Right.
That it started dabbling with something that turned into, okay, now we're doing it a couple days a week,
Yeah.
and it's no good.
Right.
No good, no good, no good. And we're watching these people that were influencing us without us even realizing how they were influencing us.
Right.
They're breaking up, they're going to jail, they're doing all this crazy shit. And I looked at Teresa, I said, is this what you want?
Right.
I can't do this.
Yeah.
I love you and I don't want to replace you and I don't want to be without you.
Yeah.
So we've got to separate ourselves from this.
Right.
And we did. We totally took a step back from, I want to say 20 to 22. Me personally, and her, we stopped everything. We
Yeah.
didn't drink. We didn't party. We didn't go nowhere.
Yeah.
We went to work and came home.
And just calm down.
Calm down. Reset button. Time to be an adult now a little bit, and
Right.
then poof. I get a phone call, come pick me up from lunch, and I go to Teresa was a manager at Walmart at the time. It's pouring down rain. She gets in the car and we're driving, and she looks over and she goes, "I got something to tell you." I said, "Okay, what's going on?" I'm thinking she flipped out on one of her managers or something. She's getting fired, and she goes, "We're pregnant."
We're pregnant.
I said, "Oh, we're pregnant, huh?" She goes, "Yeah, you're going to be a daddy." I stopped the car in the middle of the damn intersection. I got cars honking and beeping at me and yelling at me, and I'm like, "You're lying." And she throws the pregnancy test at me. So I freaked out. I pull into Walgreens. I went and got her 4 more. Made her take them. I'm like, no, 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 no. I don't believe you
Right.
because I was told when I was younger I wasn't going to have kids. I was real sick when I was a kid, young kid, and
Yeah.
ran really super high fevers, like fever blisters all over my mouth.
Yeah.
104 fever for 8 hours.
Yeah.
So, when she told me this, it was like the biggest joy I've ever experienced in my life.
Awesome. And why? Talk to me about that. Why? Why was it at that point, even before you had kids, was it a big joy for you?
Because, coming from a broken home, having a mother that had went to prison and then turned herself around and having that deadbeat dad,
Yeah.
I wasn't going to be that guy. I wanted to prove to myself that I'm better than the man that made me.
Yeah.
And I would do anything for my kids. I would lay down and die. I would give them the heart out of my chest if they needed it. It'd be my last breath
Yeah.
to give them as many more as I could.
Yeah. Talk to me about what it was like once you had the baby. How did it change life?
The day Michaela was born was probably the scariest day of my life.
Yeah.
I actually got to help deliver Michaela. Teresa had to have a C-section, and your father was out there with us for a whole month, and we tried to have natural childbirth, and it just was not happening.
Right.
So they bring her in for a C-section, and I remember standing in the hallway by myself, and your father came up behind me and he said, "Everything will be all right." I told him I'm scared, and he goes, "Well, you should be." And he walked away from me, just left me there.
It's about right.
Yep. And I remember I got down on one knee and started talking to God, and I told him just to make sure that my girls are okay.
Yeah.
So I go into the operating room with Teresa. She's having surgery, and I'm thinking I'm just going to stand behind the tent with her, and you're doing great, babe. Everything is good. And no, that was not like that. The doctor was like, "Well, come here, Mr. Dad. You're going to help me with this."
Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
So wait, we're going to stop here because we're going to talk about that. Talk about seeing the internal organs uh, of your wife.
Scary, scary shit. I tell her all the time, I know what your insides look like.
More than you do.
Oh yeah.
So for anybody that doesn't know, they literally take your organs out of your body and sit them on you.
Oh yeah.
If you're a woman having a baby.
Dave, he tells me, "Oh, you're going to count how many towels I pull out of your wife." I said, "What's that thing over?" He goes, "Oh, that's her uterus." I went, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, yeah, it's literally sitting on her." I'm going, "What in the hell?" I'm freaking out at this point.
That's funny.
And he sticks his hand inside of her stomach, after he'd made his incision, which was crazy.
Yeah.
He tells Teresa, "Can you feel this?" And she goes, "Feel what?" And he's stabbing her with a scalpel.
Jesus
She
Christ.
goes, "I don't feel anything." And wham, like he was filleting a fish, just no looking, just sliced her right open.
Yeah.
Sticks his hand in there, pulls some stuff out, and then he goes, "Come on, Dad, I need you." And I got this little head poking out of this incision in Teresa's stomach, and
Yeah.
then he grabs my hands and puts them where his is, and he goes, "All right, now pull." And Teresa's got the picture. I actually got to pull Michaela out of Teresa's stomach.
Oh wow. Yeah, they didn't do that here in Philadelphia here. I was allowed to stand behind, and then when Nick was born on the C-section, I wasn't even allowed in the room anymore.
See, with Taylor, I got to be in there with her right as the baby was coming out. They kept me in the hallway,
Okay.
brought me in right as they were taking Taylor out, and I got to cut the cord, and I had to leave.
So yeah, I mean they've become much more strict with that stuff because I think too many men passed out.
I could see why.
Yeah, me too. You know what freaked me out the most is not seeing any of that or any of the blood. It was when they were sewing her back up and they pushed the air out.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
it's crazy.
That sound, the
Yes, 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 yes.
so anyway, so that you could literally hear the air coming out of the stomach because they have to get the gas out of the stomach.
Not to be weird or gross or anything, but it
Yeah,
reminded me of like, when your mom would put like leftover dinner in a Ziploc and she's trying to get the air out.
that's exactly what it
It's
is.
all I could compare it to.
So if there was anything that almost made me throw the fuck up, it was that.
Absolutely.
After seeing like my wife's internal organs and the blood everywhere,
Uh-huh.
it was 100% a crime scene.
And I got this doctor telling me, count the bloody rags. And I'm like, well, what do I count to? I mean, he's like,
Yeah,
oh, if it gets up to 10, we got a problem. And I'm a nervous wreck. I'm a 22-year-old boy, and I'm going, all right, 3,
yeah.
4, and this dude's just whipping these rags.
He was probably trying to make you pass out.
And he was, the motherfucker, they're arguing over movies while he's doing this.
Oh,
He's not
Jesus
even being
Christ.
serious. Him and his nursing staff are arguing over movies.
Yeah,
Teresa's looking at me like, what did we sign on here? This
yeah,
doctor was such a professional doctor the whole 9 months of having her,
yeah,
of being pregnant, to who is this dude in the delivery room?
yeah. Maybe that was his way of keeping it like nice and easy on.
I think it was.
Yeah,
I think things were a little bit more complicated than they let on to, and
right.
this was their way of calming two young
Everybody.
parents down and just
Yeah,
don't pay attention to the situation, pay attention to us, and we'll get through this.
yeah. All right. So talk to me about how life changed once Michaela was there.
Oh boy, it changed. The first time I held her, they cleaned her up. I cut the cord, and I hate to narc you out, Michaela. My daughter, she shit all down in front of me. All down in front of me
And it's been the same ever
ever
since.
since.
She's been shitting on me ever since for 17
years. Yep,
years. 17, almost 18 straight years of shitting all over me.
every day. No, life changed drastically. That moment, I got to hold my daughter. My life turned upside down.
Yeah,
I'm no longer Carl. I'm no longer the man in my eyes. I'm dad.
yeah,
I'm accountable for something
yeah.
for the rest of my life.
Yep.
I cried, and
Yeah,
it wasn't fear, it wasn't sadness, it was joy. I'm a dad, but holy shit.
yeah. This responsibility.
Yep, and it was okay because Teresa was in the hospital for 2 days with her C-section. The champ that she is, they said, "Oh, you're gonna be here 4 days." No, she was out there in 48 hours.
Right.
She wanted to go home.
Yeah.
And when we got home was when I really got scared. That we had the nursing staff and everything helping take care of the baby.
Yeah.
That drive home, I was doing 25 miles an hour all the way home.
Right.
I got cars honking at me, and I'm flipping the bird. Fuck you! I got my kid in the car.
Yeah.
We get home, and I get the baby out of the car, and I bring her downstairs to her room, and I didn't leave that room for probably 12 hours. I
Reality.
sat, yeah, oh yeah, it
Reality
hit me
sets in.
like a ton of bricks,
Yeah.
like a ton of bricks. And I'm sitting there, and my dad comes downstairs, and I got tears running out of my eyes, and he was like, "Well, you did it." I said, "Yeah, I'm scared. I've got to be responsible for this perfect little angel here." And he goes, "Well, it's going to be a long, hard road, but you'll do it. You
Yeah.
will find a way to do it."
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have any advice for new parents?
Lots of them. Not to be weird or be an asshole.
Yeah.
Don't have kids till you're 30.
Yeah.
Do everything you wanted to do before you have children, because once you have children, it's all about them.
Yep.
Your life is no longer yours. Your life belongs to them.
Or at least if you're trying to do it the right way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Any man or woman can be a deadbeat and have a kid and just get rid of them and live your life how you want to. But from the minute that kid's born, if you're a good parent, your life belongs to them.
Yeah. How about talk to me about Taylor comes 2 years later?
Yes. Funny story with Taylor.
Yeah.
I'm going on a fishing trip with my dad and my best friends for 6 days. We're going up north in the mountains. We did this every year. Teresa and my best friend, he's like my brother, Jesse, his wife Buffy comes and tells me, "Teresa's got to talk to you." I'm like, "Okay, well, I'm going to get to her in just a minute. We're loading the truck up. I'll be there in a minute." She goes, "No, you got to come now." So I come, and there's Teresa, Buffy, and my mom, and they're like, "We got to talk to you." And I'm like, "Why? Leave. Let me talk to my wife. Let me talk to Teresa." And they're like, "Nope. Teresa comes up, she goes, we're pregnant. And I was like, stop. No, you did this to me once before. No.
Yeah.
And she goes, no, really, I'm pregnant again. Have a
Yeah.
good trip. I'm
Right.
like, what? We got to talk about this. She's like, nope. I just want to let you know. Go have a good time with your dad. Go fishing. Dave, I had a miserable trip.
I'm sure. Yeah.
I stressed and was worried the whole 6 days we were gone. They tried getting me drunk. They tried taking me out on a boat and anything and everything they could do to make me have a good time.
And how old are you at this point when Taylor was born?
I was 24.
24. So two kids under 3 at 24 years old.
Yes.
Talk to me about that, how that felt at first.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What did I do?
Yeah.
I realized I hadn't lived life. I was still a kid.
Yeah.
I'm responsible for not just one, but two now.
Right.
And, it took me a while to find myself as a man.
Right.
Caught up between being a boy and a man. I was always the man, but
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
reality, truth, it took me a long time to be the man that I think I am and
Yeah.
that I try to pass off to my kids that I am. I can do anything and everything.
Right.
But when they were little, I didn't have that. I wanted it.
Right.
I thought I believed it.
You were searching
I
for
was
it.
searching for it exactly.
Yeah. We all do though, man. I mean, nobody, no, I'm a true believer that no man really becomes a man first until he has some real responsibility. But second, he not before he's 30.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I was a fucking child until I was at least 28.
And we had a lot of criticism thrown our way, me and Teresa. We sure did.
Yeah.
You're not doing this right. You're not doing that right.
Right.
You could try harder. Do this. And we took that with a grain of salt, and we did the best we could
Yep.
as two kids with kids.
Right. Right. And a lot of times, sort of on your own.
Yeah. We always had my parents.
Yeah.
We've lived on and off with them, for most of our relationship, and
Right.
yes, we always had them to fall back on if it was an emergency, if we needed them to be there, they were there.
Yeah.
But for the most part, we took care of ourselves and our children
Yeah.
with very minimal help from anybody. And being kids with kids, it was a pain in the ass. It was hard.
Yeah.
And then 25, I decided I'm gonna go get an education and go to school when it was great, but I went for the wrong thing.
Right.
But it was the fastest way for me to get a degree, an associate's in 9 months.
Right. Right. Yeah. But I don't think I still don't think proving to yourself and to your kids that you can do that is never unvaluable. It's still valuable.
Exactly, because if I could do that after not being in school for 10 years,
Yeah.
then having two kids, being a drug addict, being a drunk, and then
Yeah.
going back and doing bam, 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 getting my education like that. I just wanted to do that to show them you can do anything.
And there's no mistake that you can't overcome.
Exactly. You can make any situation better.
Yeah. Yeah. The advice is, start today. Today's the first day of the rest of your life.
Absolutely.
The rest of the past doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
What do you want to do today? Make it happen. Take the first step. With people, I've talked about this before on this podcast, but somebody said that talking about martial arts, and you see a black belt and you see a white belt, and what's the hardest belt to get? The hardest belt to get is the white belt because it's literally walking through the door that's the hardest thing to do.
Exactly. You got to
And
walk through the door.
so, and that's with life, right? Is just taking that step, and taking that step forward to make yourself better is always positive. Always.
Absolutely. You have to grab the doorknob to walk through the door.
Yep.
And you can look at it all you want
Yep.
and think that you're going to go through, but until you grab it and you walk through it, you have no idea.
Right. And then just do it again the next
Do
day.
it again, and I tell my kids every day, life is left foot in front of the right foot.
Yep.
You can do anything, put the left foot in front of the right foot and keep on moving. Keep moving forward.
And you might not be successful at that thing, but it gets to be a habit of trying things, and you're going to be successful at most things if
Exactly.
you try hard.
And you'll never find what you are successful at unless you do try.
That's right. So, all right. So, talk to me about those early years. The kids are now 15 and 17, but talk to me about, once Taylor comes along, you guys, the struggles. What was life like, leading up to the last 10 years?
Kayla was 5. Taylor was 3. We lost your father.
Right.
that put a big damper on our family in Arizona
Yeah.
because it was just me and Teresa.
Yeah, and talk to me a little bit about that. Why was that hard for you guys?
Well, Teresa, she came to Arizona at 19 years old
Yep.
with all intentions of coming home.
Right.
And then she met me and she stayed.
Right.
And there was a lot of years that were missed with her and you guys and her father. And
Yeah.
we came back here. We vacationed here quite a few times. And then we were only coming back here, it seemed like, when someone died.
Yeah. Well, it was. Yeah.
And the last time we had seen Dad, he was in Arizona. I took him for a ride in my race car and I took the breath out of him. I made him sick.
Yeah.
And that hurt me because I hurt my wife. He had to go back to the hotel. We had a whole dinner plan and everything. I cooked steak, shrimp, the whole
Yeah.
thing, and gave him a ride in a race car, parked it. He looked at Ron and said, I got to go. I can't breathe.
And that was before he was diagnosed,
That
right?
was before he was diagnosed.
Yeah, with cancer. Anybody that doesn't know,
Yeah.
lung cancer. But when when you smoke 2 packs of cigarettes a day from the time you're about 8 years old, that'll probably do it.
Oh,
But
yeah, if not more. I remember when he stayed with us, it was 4 and 5 a day.
yeah, yeah. I mean, he probably started smoking at 8. He was like, when we were kids, it was probably 2 packs, and then he got in that deep depression where he wasn't moving for a few years, and I mean, he just sat at a kitchen table and chain smoked all day, so it had to be 3, 4 packs.
Oh, yeah. He stayed with us a month when Teresa was pregnant with Michaela, the last month of her pregnancy. And
Yeah,
I swear his best friend was the cigarette shop owner. Smoke shop
yeah,
owner and him
yeah.
were best friends by the end of that month.
That and Dunkin' Donuts
Oh,
coffee.
oh yeah, Dunkin' Donuts coffee.
Um, so yeah, I mean, and you guys were probably in most contact with my father, right? I mean, he probably was the one that reached out the most.
Yes, he did. Me and him talked a lot on the internet when we first got the internet and everything, and I
Yeah,
learned how to use a computer finally.
yeah,
Me and him would talk every night. I'd come home and be doing schoolwork on the computer or research for my job, and your dad would, nudge me on Messenger. Hey,
yeah,
how you doing? And next thing I know, it's 4 in the morning, and me and him have been talking for a few hours, and this lasted for about a year, 2 years maybe.
yeah,
And then he had gotten his gastric bypass,
yep,
and your father changed, which was great. He changed for the better
yeah. He did. He did.
for his health, but he changed as a person as well. I watched the man that was like my best friend, the happy-go-lucky. We had race cars in common, hunting, fishing, all this, to a very different kind of dry person. Loved us,
Right,
loved his grandkids, loved his daughter.
right.
But when we were here, he wasn't the man I met.
Yeah,
He was a different person. And I don't know if that was because other people had gotten into his head or he had finally achieved what he wanted. He was super skinny.
yeah,
He was working. He was doing his own thing, had his own business going, remodeling, and he was happy.
right.
But at the same time, your sister and I kind of suffered with that because the vacationing, the coming out, the contact had stopped as well.
Okay. Yeah. So, all right. Yeah, he was sort of busier or whatever in some ways, and just less interested in reaching out.
Yes, I mean there was a time we had went almost 2 years without hearing from your mother and father.
Oh wow.
We didn't know they had moved from Buna to Swedesboro until they were there already a year.
Oh wow. Yeah. Yeah, that's tough. Talk to me about dealing with, your significant other losing their parent. How was that?
It was a nightmare, to be honest with
Yeah.
you. Teresa loved her father so much.
Yeah.
That was her rock.
Right.
Daddy's little girl. Now, especially me having two daughters of my own, I see it.
Right.
And me being a mama's boy per se, because I am my mother's only biological child.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. How you, you fall in love with your kids,
Yeah.
and your kids fall in love with you. You are their protector. You're their provider.
Yeah.
You're Superman and Superwoman to your children. And when we got the call that your father passed away, your mother called. It was 9 o'clock Arizona time, and she had called, and she was like, "Carl, get Teresa on the other line." I knew right then.
Yeah.
I knew. And I said, all right, hold on. I went, I got her the other cordless phone. I gave it to Teresa. And she goes, who is? I said, it's your mother.
Yeah.
She needs to talk to both of us. And she goes, what's wrong with her? I said, I don't know. Get her on the phone. And she goes, guys, I hate to do this, but Dad's gone. He died.
Yeah.
The phone dropped.
Yeah.
I had to run in the other room, and Teresa was on her hands and knees bawling.
Yeah.
There was a period of time where I mean, she hated God,
Yeah.
and I had to tell her, it's not God. Your father smoked 4 packs a day.
Right. Yeah.
This is a self-induced
100%.
situation.
Yeah. He had the type of cancer that only exists because you smoke.
Exactly. Or
Yeah.
you're around smoke.
Right.
And then we came back home here for the funeral. We were here 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And things were great because it wasn't real yet. We buried your father. Well, we had a service and everything, and
Yeah.
we go home, and we're home like 3 days, and I think reality sucked into Teresa that my dad's never coming back.
Right.
Dave, I lost my wife for almost 3.5 years.
Oh, wow.
Uh,
Just depression?
yes, depression. I'm crying right now. Her being a mother, her being a wife, her being my best friend
Yeah.
was gone. And I hate to get personal, but I mean, even down to your personal life, your love life,
Yeah. It's tough.
gone.
Yeah. That's awful.
Don't touch me. Don't look at me. I'm in my own fucking head.
Yeah.
And I got 2 kids to raise. I got to be mommy and daddy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Teresa, of course, when she would talk to you or mom, oh, I'm good. I'm working. I'm doing this. No, Teresa was at home with the blankets over her head in bed for 3.5 years. Yeah, she took care of her kids. She'd make dinner,
Yeah. Yeah.
put her
Yeah.
back in her room. The lady I fell in love with, that go getter, that firecracker of a woman, was not there.
What turned it around?
Honestly, me and her had a conversation, and I told her, you lost your father. I lost my fucking wife.
Yeah.
Don't let your kids lose you.
Yeah.
You're better than this.
Yeah.
Your father would kick your fucking ass right now if he knew you were doing this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your father suffered from depression from losing his brother, Eddie.
Well, yeah, and many other things,
And
but
many
yeah.
other things, but if he would have seen Teresa that way, he would have kicked her ass.
Yeah.
You're better than this. Don't do it. Live through me what I went through. You know what it leads to. I told her, no, this isn't going to happen. You got to go back to work. You've got to put the left foot in front of the right, Teresa, and
Right.
go get it. Get after it. Go be you again.
Yeah.
And she
And
did.
yeah, Carl, I remember or reaching out at times like that, and I remember telling my mother that it didn't add up, that she was working, but like she would say weird shit about work, and it wasn't adding up, and it makes all sense now. And I'm sorry that I couldn't be a supporter at the time.
We got family spreading rumors and lies about me,
Yeah, yeah,
and
and her.
her exactly, covering her ass, but yet bagging on her at the same time
Right.
when they have no fucking clue what was going on in our lives. I
Yeah,
see you people once a year.
talking about drugs and shit like that.
Absolutely. How do you know what I'm doing if I don't see you?
Yeah, right,
I haven't seen you in a fucking year, but yet you know what's going on with me and my family.
right.
Every time I come around you, it's like a soap opera. This is why I told Teresa, they're your family, but they're not mine.
Well, and here's the other thing. Like I've told my sister a million times. I think you've been a part of those conversations, but you love your family and you care for them and you want the best for them. But like anybody else, if they are not productive, if they are not adding something to your life, if they are a negative influence, they're out too.
They got to go.
They got to go. And they can come back when they're ready to be a positive force in your life, but there's no room for it.
There's not, and I hate to bring it even up, but
Yeah.
your mother, mommy, she called Teresa, you need to get a hold of your aunt, you need to get a hold of
Yeah.
your cousin. They say they never see you, this, that, and the other. Well,
Right.
we did that on our own because every time we did see him, it's drama.
Right. Well, the other thing is too. The other thing that I've told my sister too, and I know that you believe this too, but you just have to say what you think and not hide it, not protect anybody. The truth is the truth, and that's fine. And you just say to mommy, Mom, I tried that. It's not working for me. So they're not a positive they're not a positive force in our
Exactly.
life.
The company you keep reflects on you. And
100%. Yeah.
whether it's family, friends, or anything in between, and your mother finally seen that.
Yeah.
It smacked her in the face as well. Reality, it sunk in. She's seen how we are treated and why we separated ourselves from them.
Well, yeah, not only that, but as the old saying goes, misery loves company, right?
Absolutely.
And you can't avoid it no matter how positive you are, how much you go in the right direction. If you have that stuff around you, it will affect you.
Oh, yeah.
It will affect you even if it's a little bit.
I used to tell people this all the time. Don't bring negative karma in my positive world.
Right.
You are so full of animosity and drama and just hatred and bad shit. Don't bring it to my positive world,
And the gossip and all that
Exactly.
nonsense.
I don't care who's doing who's doing what, or what's going on. Leave your shit at home.
Yeah. Gossip's for teenagers.
Absolutely. That old saying, save the drama for your mama.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
leave me alone.
Yeah. I mean, it took a long time to realize that, but it's a really sage advice is it's just you can't do it. And you can still love somebody and you could still care about them and you could still want the best for them, but they don't need to be around.
Absolutely. You don't have to have them in your life to love them.
Right.
You can send a Christmas card, you can send a text, hey, love you, thinking of you, but that's it. If they're not good for you and your family, keep them away.
Yeah. All right.
Distance.
So tell me about we're caught up now. Like tell me about what's going on now. What's going on with life now?
Oh, life is good now. I am happy with myself. Well, there was a little roller coaster. I had an incident happening, well, too. But leading up to that, life has been good. The pandemic had happened, which I hate to say it was good for me and your sister.
It was good for me too.
It turned me and Teresa around.
Awesome.
I was general contracting, but as subcontracting.
Yeah.
And when COVID happened, the owner of the company I was working for, he up and split, and I didn't know what to do. Here I was making $30 an hour to I don't got a job because this guy's gone.
Yeah.
So we filed for the unemployment aid came around, and they gave me all the back pay that I was owed.
Yeah.
And with that, I went and bought my own tools. I went and bought a truck. I said, I'm done working for anybody. I'm going to do it my own.
Awesome.
And I've been doing it every day since. Then I had an incident happen last year. I was in a fire, was working on a friend of mine's race car, and he was supposed to have changed the fuel lines on it and told me he did. Guy's a massive alcoholic, so it should have surprised me that he didn't.
Yeah.
And he started it up, and it was pouring fuel, and I told him, shut it off, and he revved the engine, and it shot a flame out the header and caught the fuel on fire that I was standing in.
Jesus Christ.
And this motherfucker, instead of trying to put me out, he's worried about his car.
Yeah.
I'm over here melting, and he's over there with a fire extinguisher putting his car out. He had his best friends over here burning to death.
How many surgeries?
On that one, just two.
Okay.
I go to the burn unit. I'm there 6 weeks, 2 surgeries. I go to a rehabilitation center. I'm there 3 weeks. I go home. Well, the day before I come home, Teresa calls me and tells me, hey, their neighbors had their yard done. Pest control guy's there, and he said he'll give us a great deal. Do you want me to do it? I said, well, hell yeah. It's like half off of what I normally pay,
Right.
Absolutely. Well, this guy comes and he sprays the outside of my yard and runs out of chemical. I'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah.
Never shows back up. So they come and get me in the house, get me in my recliner. I go in, I go to bed. I wake up the next morning, I got this black dot on my right foot. And I look at it and I said, what the hell is that? And didn't pay no real attention to it. Did throughout my day, went to bed, woke up the next morning, and this black dot's the size of a $50 now.
Jesus.
I'm still hiding it from your sister, because I didn't want her freaking out. I just got home. And come day 3, I'm like, Tree, something's wrong. And she goes, what? And this black dot had turned into a probably big around as a Coke can now, and on my right foot and mushy, like as if you left a watermelon in the sun. And I went to go stand up and it broke open and just all this nasty shit came out of it. And Teresa goes, oh my God, we got to go to the hospital. I said, yeah, we do. And we all know your sister doesn't drive.
Right.
So we get in my truck and she's like, I'm going to drive you to the hospital. Yeah, that made it around the block. And so I slide over and I'm driving with a cane and everything. And we get there and come to find out I was bit by a brown recluse spider.
Yeah.
A baby, and it was killing my foot. I go there. I'm there 2 days, and the doctor comes and tells me we've given you antivenom. You're allergic to it. It's not working. You're bad shape. Your foot's turning black. It lack of oxygen, lack of blood flow. I'm gonna amputate your foot tomorrow. And I'm by myself. Teresa had just left with my dad to go home to make sure the kids were good.
Yeah.
So here I am in the hospital by myself, and this asshole comes and tells me I'm going to cut your foot off tomorrow. Well, I mean, with the straightest face in the world.
Yeah.
So I'm in shock. I start crying. I'm like, holy shit, I'm going to be footless. How do I do this? I can't do it.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there and trying to get a hold of Tree. She's not answering. And my nurse comes in and starts changing my bandages and everything. And I see my doctor in the hallway, and this other man is just giving him, the business, got his finger in his chest, yelling at him. And I asked the nurse, I said, "What the hell's going on out there?" She goes, "Oh, they're arguing about you." I said, "Well, who is that?" She goes, "It's another doctor. He'll be in a minute." Next thing you know, the door flings open, and this Indian man comes in. He goes, "Don't you listen to this man. He wants your money. Lopping your foot off. He's in and out in an hour.
Yeah.
He will be golfing by noon tomorrow and done made 100 grand by taking your foot. I will save your foot. It's going to be a long, hard road, but there's no reason for you to have to be handicapped because of this. It's lazy." He told me I needed to discharge myself from the other doctor's care and appoint him head of my medical, and I did. Best move I ever made. We went in for surgery the next day. He had drilled a hole in my ankle, well, most of my shin, but ankle area, and got to the infection and relieved the pressure. That was where it first started. We had to get the pressure to come down because, I mean, my big toe was probably 3 inches around. My top of my foot was 4 inches higher than normal.
Jesus.
It looked like, in the movies when you see those overgrown limbs that are just like super infected and going to be like squirting pus everywhere. That's how my foot looked.
Yeah. I saw some pictures today.
You nasty shit, huh?
It's not pretty.
And it's been a year now and I'm still healing from that. I've had 5 operations on this right foot
Yeah.
just from that spider bite. They had to go in and scrape everything and dead flesh out because the brown recluse, it kills everything. It just decomposes everything.
Yeah.
And but I'm walking.
Yep.
After he did the first 3 operations, I got to go to a rehab center and learn how to walk again.
Yeah. Yeah. You had
Which,
a tiny little skinny leg for a while there. Huh?
oh yeah, no muscle movement, no nothing.
Yeah.
I couldn't even pick myself up to go to the bathroom, Dave.
How'd you keep the business?
It's ironic. I was hiring some day laborers from, no offense, Home Depot.
Yeah.
And I had picked the right people. We'll just say that. Shout out to my buddy Marcos. You're my right hand man. He had a family. He has a family, 3 kids, a wife. They were living in an extended stay. And I hired him, which looking back on it, I never would have hired this guy. Everything told me he's not a worker. He's not here to work. He's just here to get money and leave.
Right.
Wearing tennis shoes, no gloves, not any kind of work attire for construction.
Right.
This man saved my business tenfold.
Yeah.
We were working, everything's good. This happens to me, and he comes to me and goes, "What's going on, Patron?" I said, "We got a problem. I can't keep you on. I'm going to shut the business down. I don't know what we're going to do." At this point, I had just paid all of our bills. Me and Teresa had like 5 grand in our savings.
Yeah.
My mortgage is coming due again. My truck payment's coming due again. Got to buy groceries. There's another $1,000.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're going to do. And I'm communicating with this guy by Google Translator, everybody, which is a pain in the ass.
Right. Right.
I don't know him from Adam. He don't know me from Adam. It's just I give him $1,000 a week and he comes to work every day.
Right.
That was our relationship. And this man looked at me and he's typing. And he goes, "I can do this. You stay home and get better. I can do this. You get the jobs and I'll do the jobs."
Yeah.
My heart hit the floor, Dave, that this man that don't know me from Adam is willing to do this for me. But, looking at it from his side, I'm saving him like he's saving me as much as he's saving me.
Yeah. Yeah.
He now has his own home. He's renting a house, has a vehicle, got a work visa now. His wife has a work visa. They're doing things the right way.
Yeah.
This man worked himself 7 days a week the whole time I was healing. I would get calls for jobs, and this man don't know how to speak a lick of English at the time,
Yeah.
and I would just send him. I would translate to him what he needed to put on the truck, what needed to be done, and this man would go do it. And he'd bring me back checks. I told him there's no cash involved, no nothing. I don't know you like that. Until I do, this is how we're going to do things.
Right.
And my customers understood. I told them what was going on, and hey, if you do have to pay me in cash, you're going to have to, Venmo it to me or something like that, so I can pay my guys from me, not from you.
Right.
Last year, like I said, he worked 7 days a week, almost the whole year, and just busted his ass to make sure that he was supporting not only his home, my business, everything that's involved with that.
Right. It's awesome.
It is, I mean, I hate to say it's like a fairy tale, but it really is, like I said, a million years would have never expected this guy to do what he does.
What's your plan for the future, for the next 5, 10 years? What's on tap for Carl and Teresa?
Definitely getting to know our East Coast family better, like
Yeah.
we talked about the other day. This is the first step to a new beginning.
Yeah.
I definitely want to be out here more than once a year. I would love to be out here, Christmas, summer,
Yeah.
back and forth for you and us.
Yep.
And I want to expand my business a little bit, not too much, but take on a little bit more work than what we're doing. And I'm thinking about honestly taking another job as well because Marcos is so good at what he does and can run my business for me.
Right.
I'm thinking about taking another job with Honeywell, which is a great company that has a pension.
Right.
I'll have something to look back on in 20 years and fall back on in 20 years.
Right. Yeah. It's a thing you start to think about a little bit more when you get close to your 40s or in your 40s, huh?
Absolutely. I've been dreading this, that I own my own business, not saying I'm dreading it. I love it, but I only have what I make. If I don't put anything in our savings, we don't have a savings. We don't have a future. I don't have a pension.
Right. So I got a guy, by the way, that can help you with saving some money, and it's pretty low cost. So we'll talk about it
Okay.
after the podcast, but we can help you start saving and like a financial advisor for like $100 a month or something like
Oh,
that.
really?
Yeah, yeah. It's not very expensive, and they're real financial advisors. So
See,
anyway,
that was our problem. We were going to hire somebody, and this guy was just a shark, and
yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
trust him. So that's why I hate
yeah,
to say it. What we had was what was in my right pocket and what was in my savings account.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's helpful for anybody really that it doesn't do it every day. All right, we're on to the advice portion of this podcast. So first, tell me about the advice you would give the 18-year-old version of you.
Say no to drugs. Don't do them. Don't put your faith in everybody. Don't believe everything they say to you. Wean yourself through the bullshit.
Yeah,
I had a problem with that. I
about being too trusting,
Yes, I
or
trusted everything my friends and colleagues would say to me.
so you would trust what they say. You would not look at the signs.
I wanted to see the good in everybody,
Yeah,
and these are some of these people I've known for 10 years, 20 years, and, I put my faith in them and it totally fucked me.
yeah, right. Despite the fact that they probably showed you a million times that they were not trustworthy.
Oh yeah, but I was gullible, I
Yeah,
was too good of a friend.
yeah. What do you think that was? You just think it was the want to be, the want to have those people in your life, to have other people in your life, and have that connection.
Yes, of course. And some of these people were very successful. Now
Right.
I see how they had it going on because they were robbing and stealing from everybody they knew.
Yeah, but just to being just having money doesn't make you moral.
No, it doesn't, and I've seen that.
Yeah. What do you think the 18-year-old version of you would think of the current version?
He'd be proud.
Yeah.
He'd
Talk
be
to me about
proud.
that. Why?
Where I was to where I am in the path that I've walked to get here,
Yeah.
he'd be very proud of him. He'd
Yeah.
clap. He'd tell me, you did it. You're
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah. When you were 18, what did you think with the future ahead of you? What did you think about it?
Honestly, I didn't know if there was going to be a future for me.
Yeah.
You know, life was a big party.
Yeah. Yeah. You weren't thinking about it at
I
all.
wasn't thinking about the future at all.
Yeah. How about bosses? Any advice for a young boss of the world or somebody who's a boss? Any advice for them?
Yeah, don't be too hard on people. There are good people out there that don't need to be yelled at and treated like just a number. Treat them the way you would want to be treated.
How about young workers?
Stand up for yourself.
Talk to me about that. There's some middle-aged workers that might need that advice.
Oh, I'm sure there are. You are worth something. If you
Yeah,
show up every day and you do your job, don't be afraid to ask for more.
yeah, yeah. But you have to show up and do your job.
You got to show up. If you don't show up, don't go in there and ask for a raise. If you're late, half the week and then you end up missing 2 days.
Right.
No, it doesn't work that way. But if you go to work every day, you show up on time or early, don't be afraid to ask for a raise to be promoted. You've got to want better.
Yeah. Best advice you ever got? You have anything?
I've got a lot of advice. I don't know if half of it was ever good, but
Yeah. A lot of bad of it. Bad advice.
oh, a lot of bad advice. Everybody thinks they know the best thing for you in life,
Yeah.
but it would have to be from my dad. Just go to work every day, be a good man, be a good husband, love your family,
Yeah.
and they'll love you back.
Who's the person that was most impactful to you?
Rick, my stepdad.
Talk to me a little bit about that. I know you have a little bit, but
This man has a disability. He cannot read or write. He's dyslexic as dyslexic can be. I mean, he is beyond that. We'll just put it to you that way.
right.
But yet, this man has never stopped wanting and trying his whole life. He's 70 years old,
Yeah.
still walks 3 miles a day, would still go out and go shovel shit if that's what it needed to feed his family.
Yeah.
He doesn't stop,
Yeah.
and he won't stop until he's dead.
Yeah.
He loves my kids is probably as much as I do.
Yeah.
Being their father and their grandfather. I gave my children his last name,
Right.
and the man deserves all the credit in the world.
Yeah. And took you in, right? I mean, treated you like a son.
Yeah,
Didn't have to.
didn't have to.
How about an event that was most impactful to you? Any one event?
Um, well, there's been a lot, but like I said, with my childhood, with my mom, I remember that like it was yesterday.
Her going away.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and you're what, 4 years
I
old?
was 4 years old.
Yeah. Most people don't remember things at 4 years old, by the way.
No, they don't.
Yeah. They remember snapshots, maybe, but you remember it like it was,
Like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
It was that when you are in a single parent home.
Yeah.
And that parent's gone like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Can't imagine.
It's reality. It hits you like a ton of bricks.
And then you have to go live with a person that you don't even really
That you
know.
don't even know. I didn't even know what this man looked like, Dave. It stuck with me. It always has. And I hate that memory has stuck with me, but
But has it been a benefit in some ways?
it has. It sure has. When I was getting out of control,
Yeah.
I thought of that memory and go, what would my kids do if that happened to them right now?
Yeah. Yeah.
If they got off the bus and, hey, your dad's locked up, you don't know if you're ever going to see him again. You couldn't put them through that.
Yeah. All right. Enough emotion. Talk to me about a drunk or high story that you want to tell.
Oh, there's quite a few of those.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, you
Probably
do.
how we became parents, to be honest with you. No,
Let's talk about it then.
we were on a camping trip.
Yeah.
Me, Teresa, my friends Tim and Tony, and a couple other friends, and we're up in the mountains, and we think we're going up there to drink and smoke and just get away from the city. And next thing you know, they're passing around mushrooms.
Uh-huh.
Yeehaw! That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Eat this chocolate bar. Okay.
Oh, and you didn't even know?
Oh, I didn't even know. Me, Teresa didn't even know. We eat these, and then Tim looks at me and goes, there was 2 grams of shrooms in there. I
Jesus.
went, oh, fuck, here we go.
Yeah.
I guess it's going to be a long night. Next thing you know, the lights are out and we're all doing our own thing, and we're pretty sure that's how Michaela came into the world, but we don't know for sure.
Any weird trip?
Oh, yeah. There was these Mormon families that were up there that the whole time we're there, they're shushing us, and my buddy Tim's a morbid guy. He's a tattoo artist. He's into anything grimy and creepy and everything else. And
Yeah.
he goes and pulls the chain off of his gas-powered chainsaw. Yeah. and he put his hoodie on, and he goes, "Carl, chase me with this." I said, "What the fuck?" He goes, "Chase me with this." All right, and so I take after running after Tim through the middle of the forest, and this motherfucker is running straight through their campground.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh yeah, we had every cop, sheriff, deputy, and everything looking for us when we got back to our campground. These people thought, Jason Voorhees was coming after him and everything, and we're sitting around the fire, and we're all fucked up, and
Yeah.
it was definitely an experience. I've never had to talk to a sheriff when I can barely see. I can't keep a straight face. I'm laughing at him.
uh, how about any pee, puke, or fart story where you embarrass yourself?
Oh, probably once a week. Being in your 40s, it happens sometimes.
Oh, at least with men, women won't admit it on this podcast. But anyway, go ahead.
You know how it goes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get the dribbles.
Yeah.
Yes, I was stuck in LA traffic. I was driving a truck at the time,
Uh-huh.
and I'm gridlock.
Mm-hmm.
I had ate a mystery burrito
Yep.
from a truck stop, and your gut started bubbling and everything, and I'm like, oh shit,
Nothing ever good happened with truck stop
nothing
food.
ever good with truck stop food. Do not do it. No matter how hungry you are, fight through the urge. Do
Yeah.
not eat it. The mystery burrito is not good. When they tell you they'll make you something
Yeah.
and you don't know what it is, do not do it. So I'm sitting there in traffic, and I'm like, man, I got the fucking gas, and I'm by myself, and you go and you lift up your left cheek, and you're expecting to fart, and you just shit yourself.
Yeah.
As a grown man, it sucks.
Yeah.
So I put my truck in neutral. I hit the brakes, and I go on a sleeper. I'm gonna go clean myself off. I ain't got no toilet paper in there.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't got shit.
Oh, you got shit.
All over me. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'm ripping pages out of my logbook, and I'm wiping my ass with it, throwing it out the window.
God.
I ended up throwing one of them on a California Department of Transportation officer's windshield.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that didn't end well. He instantly boarded my truck. Comes in there, what's going on? I'm like, it's a shitty situation in here. And he goes, obviously, this motherfucker ended up giving me a ticket for a falsified logbook. He ran my books to the T. I didn't fill them out when I left Phoenix that morning.
Yeah.
I had already
So
drove for 700 miles.
did he give you a littering thing too?
Oh yeah. That's another funny story. I have been to jail for criminal littering. Everybody, that is a crime.
Jesus. Where were you in jail for criminal littering?
I was in Arizona. I was on the Bush Highway, aka the Beeline Highway.
Yeah.
I had went and done a demolition job. We demoed like 4 yards of concrete, put it on my trailer, and we took off. And I had to go to another job. Well, the address they had gave me put me in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
Fucking liars. No. So I go to turn around, and the makeshift box I had made on my flatbed trailer, it had broke. The 2x4s and the plywood broke through, and I just dumped 4 yards of concrete in a national forest.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh yeah, and people out dirt biking and quadding had seen this, and they called the sheriff on me. So as the sheriff's coming up, me and my cousin, I'm driving a truck, and my cousin's throwing pieces of concrete on the trailer. It don't look good from the sheriff's point of view. It looks like we are dumping, and
Right.
we weren't. I'm picking up the stuff that I turned around and it broke.
Right.
This sheriff was a rookie. He had been on the sheriff's department for 3 weeks.
Oh, good.
Oh yeah, so he's like a one bullet Barney.
Right.
And this guy he wrecked me to the gills. He called the Forest Service. I got a $1,500 fine from the Forest Service, and the Forest Ranger tells me, "Here's your ticket. Pick up your shit and have a good day." So I'm thinking, okay, we're getting out of this, no problem. It took us 5.5 hours to pick up all this concrete.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So we pick it all up. I throw the last piece of concrete on my trailer. One bullet Barney turns around and grabs my wrists and puts me in arrest. He puts me in handcuffs. And I said, what the fuck? You said you were letting me go. He's like, you know what? I've got no respect for people like you. You're littering on our land, this, that, and the other.
Oh my
Impounds
God.
my truck, impounds my trailer. Your sister's expecting me home for dinner.
Right.
I was supposed to be home at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I didn't get to booking until 9 o'clock at night.
Oh man.
So she's panicking. She thinks that we're dead somewhere and
Yeah.
something happened. We got in an accident. But no, here I am. I was 22 years old. This was right before we had Michaela. I'm in jail. First time ever being in big boy jail.
Yeah.
And I'm in there for fucking criminal littering. I'm in here with guys that are getting ready to go away for stabbing their girlfriends, robbing people at gunpoint. And I remember this guy fully tattooed up his neck. He's got shit all over his face. He looks at me and goes, "What are you in here for?" And I'm not going to tell this dude. I'm a fucking litterer.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I told him, I was like, yeah, I stabbed my wife's boyfriend. This motherfucker came at me, so I stabbed him. Cheating bitch. It's the only thing that would come to my mind. I'm like, I'm not telling this guy, yeah, I'm a criminal litterer, big bad felon over here.
Yeah. Right.
And I stuck with it the whole time I was in jail there. I was there for 18 hours.
Yeah. No fun, huh?
No fun at all. Ended up getting in a fight while I was in there. It was an experience.
Yeah. Make you not want to go back.
Oh, definitely not want to go back.
How about any time you got, or I mean, any people that you got caught having sex?
Yes.
No names.
Yes. I'm having a get together at my house, and we're all drinking and having fun. Kids are in the bounce house. Next thing I know, my friend
No drunk story should ever. I mean, no sex story should ever start with my kids were in the bounce house. But
yeah,
okay, next.
it shouldn't have been a sex story. We'll just put it that way.
Yeah.
Dirty bastards.
So, yeah, Yimmy.
Gimme, and the imaginary woman will say, they disappear. And I get this knock on my door from my neighbor. He goes, Carl. He goes, I know you're new to the neighborhood. He goes, but what the fuck are you running here? I said, what do you mean? He goes, you running a whorehouse here? I said, what the fuck? He goes, yeah, the little guy's out there banging the big girl in your gravel. I said, what? He goes, in your fucking driveway. He goes, the little guy's got the big girl on her hands and knees in the gravel. Me and Teresa head out the front door. We're like, what the fuck is he talking about? We go out there, and sure as shit, here's Jimmy behind the big girl, just giving it to her. And I'm going, what the fuck are you two doing? They look up at me, and they're both 3 sheets to the fucking wind, trying
Three, just three.
Yeah.
Oh man.
They're just trying to scramble to get their clothes on and everything. And but the ass kicker of this motherfucking story is I've got a motorhome in the driveway, doors unlocked, king size bed in there, privacy. Could have went in there, did their thing, wham bam, thank you, ma'am. They're done. But no, the two of them, being the horn dogs that they are, will say, had to go and fuck in my front yard.
It was in the front yard.
Front yard, and we lived on a major street. Like,
what time of day was this?
This is at 5:30 in the afternoon.
Oh my god!
On a Friday. Mind you, David, this is a busy major street. This would be like if you lived on Oregon Avenue right now.
Right, in Philadelphia.
Yes.
Yeah.
And your best friend's outside fucking in your front yard.
Railing a chick in the front
Yeah,
yard.
just banging the shit out of her on Oregon Avenue, I've got people honking and stopping and taking videos, and they're just giving it to each other right there in my front yard,
That's my best caught having sex story, buddy.
Absolutely.
You win.
God strike me dead if I'm lying.
I believe you. All right, 20 questions. You ready for them?
I'm ready.
All right, what makes you angry? It's the Angry Day podcast. I need to know what makes you angry.
Stupid fucking people.
That's what your wife said. Explain that to me.
When you look at them people, it's like, here's your sign. If the left hand don't know what the right hand's doing, get the fuck out of my way. I used to tell people, I was a mechanic for a lot of years. I can fix everything but stupid.
Yeah.
And there's just some people out there that it's like, really? You're that fucking dumb? Get out of my way.
Is it people that are not knowledgeable, or is it people that think that they're knowledgeable but really aren't?
Both. But what's worse is the people who think they know what they're doing.
There's nothing worse than that.
I can teach somebody who doesn't know what they're doing anything.
Right.
That old saying is, there's no wrong, no wrong,
no wrong, no bad questions.
Exactly. You ask a question, I will answer it. But when I'm trying to teach you something, you're trying to tell me you know what you're doing,
Yeah.
and you're just fucking things up. Yeah, there's no room for that. There's no excuse for it.
What makes you happy?
My kids,
Fuck those kids.
right?
I'm just kidding.
You
I'm only
you
kidding.
little witches.
No, I'm only kidding.
I know as they're giving us the evil eye over here.
Tell me, no, tell me about that.
Just seeing them happy makes me happy. I could have the shittiest day, and they'll come out to my truck when I pull in the driveway. Daddy, take me to the store. Daddy, I need this. Daddy, I need that. And I'm wore out. But just seeing how happy they are, like
Yeah.
I just drove an hour to get home through rush hour traffic, yelling and screaming at people. And you want me to take you to Walmart? Sure, let's go. Before I get my boots off and I go inside, let's go.
Yeah, your eldest daughter has this obsession with Walmart, eh?
She does.
Yeah.
I told her she needs to get with somebody from the Walton family and just own the damn place.
Yeah. That'd be better.
Absolutely be cheaper for me too.
Yeah. Maybe you would have to drive her less.
Yeah. Oh, that's coming. She's got her permit and we're working on that.
Yeah.
She would probably already have her license if I didn't drive a lifted diesel pickup truck.
Right.
The truck's like 4 feet taller than she is.
Yeah. Yeah. How about what makes you proud? What are you most proud of?
How far me and your sister have come, me and my wife have come in life.
Yeah.
Looking back on things, it's like from two punk kids that had not a quarter apiece in their pocket when we first met,
Yeah.
of sense either. We were both young. Plug your ears, girls.
Young, dumb, and full of cum.
You got it, brother. You took the words right out of my mouth.
Knew what you were gonna say.
And it was the truth.
Yeah.
We didn't care about tomorrow. We're living today up.
Yeah. If you could do anything else with your life professionally, what would it be? Like a job you always wanted.
To be honest with you,
Yeah.
I wanted to be a lawyer.
Really?
Yep, I wanted to. I like wearing suits. You wouldn't think of it looking at me,
Yeah.
but the few times I have wore a suit, I loved them. I loved putting them on. I loved looking professional,
Yeah.
and I loved to argue with people.
Yeah.
Or for people.
Yeah. It's not that fun.
I've heard stories from you, so yes, I
It gets
probably would change my mind now. But
no, it just gets as monotonous as any other job. It made me not feel that way. I do like the suit part of it. I do like looking nice, and I do like that it's basically a uniform. That if you buy 4 or 5 suits and you have different color shirts, it turns out to be a uniform that you can just change up, right?
exactly, and that's what I looked at it as. But
Yeah,
like me and you talked last night. At the end of the day, it's a job.
it's just a job. If any job becomes more than just a job, then and you get wrapped up into it and it becomes your identity, that's a problem.
Time to go.
Yeah, your home should be your identity in my estimation, but everybody's different. People really get wrapped up in having that label, whatever that label is,
Yep.
VP, you know, lawyer, doctor. It becomes like a complex, like it's a badge of honor or something because you graduated something. I don't know.
Right when the real goal here should be you sitting at home
Yeah,
in your sweat shorts with your kids, watching a program, eating dinner with your family.
right.
I got a friend that's like that. He's got to have the best of everything. He's
Yeah,
no children. I asked him, I said, "You ever going to have kids?" He goes, "Well, why do I want to have kids? I'm still having fun. I want the newest video game. I want the newest toy.
yeah.
I'm driving my 370Z and my new Supra, this, that, and the other."
The only problem is you can't take the money and the fucking car with you when you die.
No, I told him, I said, "Who's going to wipe your ass when you get to be 90 years old?
That's for
That
sure.
car ain't going to wipe your ass. My kids, I hate to say it, they're looking at me right now like I'm crazy, but I know right
You
now,
are wiping that
you're
ass.
wiping that ass, girls. I wiped your nasty asses. What goes around comes around.
One thing you can change about yourself, if you could.
Would probably be how short-tempered I am.
Yeah,
That's with a lot of things, from family to friends to just life.
yeah,
I don't have a fuse for bullshit anymore.
yeah,
When I was younger, I would hold it in. I would hold it in and hold it in, hold it in, and then I would just blow up. I would come home and I would be bitching and yelling at Teresa, telling her this fucking happened, this happened, blah 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 blah, and she's just looking at me like, oh my god, why did I even ask you how your day went? I'm gonna go
Right.
back in the kitchen and cook dinner for the kids.
So yeah, so a couple pieces of advice from me because I suffer from the same problem is that when I'm out in the world and it's the minor things that piss me off that you know what I mean that really I it should be just something that I ignore. I try to think about what's probably going on in that person's mind and in that person's day and trying to put me in their shoes and just realize that people have shitty lives, so they have to act shitty. So I try to let that sink in and just not take it personally. Just not take it personally. Realize that people aren't really even directing it at you. They're directing it out into the world because they're fucking miserable human beings.
Right. Amen.
When it comes to people closer to you, and that the bullshit part of it, you got to get those people out of your life. I mean, it's a harsh thing to say, but when they bring nothing but bullshit or bring bullshit repeatedly, they don't belong in your life, and that's the answer to that.
Amen. We were just talking about this last night with a certain
Yeah,
set of people,
right.
and ringing my phone off the hook, texting me every 5 minutes, and I have separated me and Teresa from that bullshit, and I'm
Yeah,
not looking back
yeah. I mean, it's just not. And again, it doesn't mean that they have to be out of your life forever, but they have to be out of your life until the bullshit
for now.
ends. Right.
And you're exactly right. It doesn't have to be forever, but until they can change their ways, we're good.
Yeah. Right. How about one thing you could change about the world? What would it be?
World peace. No.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that'd be great.
I had to do the whole, Miss America thing. I wish for world peace. But no, really, I got to give a shout out to my boy, Tony Ocean.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks for letting me use that boat. But no, just all the bullshit in the world right now, the politics, the way everything's happening, and it just slow it down, people. Realize what's going on in front of you. Don't be led like a dumb lamb.
Yeah.
Right from wrong, what's up and down.
Yeah. Have personal relationships and not lead your life through memes on the internet.
Absolutely, absolutely. It pisses me off. It flat pisses me off when I look at people, grown ass men that I've known most of my life, that just put their heart and souls, and they're being led like lambs, and it's like,
Yeah.
come on, you are smarter than this.
Yeah. What's most important to you?
Family,
Yeah.
100% family. I could live without money. I've done it.
Yeah.
I can live without a lot of things, but without my wife and kids and my family, I'm nothing.
What's the most unreasonable thing about you?
I am stubborn and pig-headed. I'm looking at my wife right now. She's counting on her hands, her fingers over there. Uh, yeah, I'm very stubborn. If I'm right, I'm fucking right.
Yeah.
And I will fight to the death over it. And I don't know if that's a good thing, but it's me. It's hard. You're gonna have to prove me wrong. And
Yeah.
if you do, I will shake your hand. I'm not the type of guy that's gonna be like, oh, well, fuck you and walk away. When you prove me wrong. If you prove me wrong, cool. You educated me on something that I thought I knew.
Right.
And I love to learn things. Educate me.
How about an everyday struggle?
Being the best dad I can be. I want to be that man when I die. I want my kids to look up at the sky and go, man, he was fucking awesome. Dad,
Yeah.
he was the man.
How about your best quality?
Uh, I don't know if we can get that personal here, no.
Yeah. 4-inch chump. Anyway, but
2 inches of swinging thunder, baby.
what do you think? What are you most proud of about yourself?
I'm a caring person,
You are. You're so full. You're wait. You're not a Pisces though.
I'm a Scorpio,
You're a water sign. You're my Nicholas. That's where we get this. You're ball full of emotion, just like me. Anyway, go
Oh
ahead.
yeah, I will give you the shirt off my back, until my back starts to bleed, and
Yeah.
then it's fuck you,
Right.
I will rip your head off, but and it hurts to be that way sometimes, because like I said, I put myself out there.
Yeah, but it's worth it.
It is worth it at the end of the day, it really is.
Yeah. I mean, it's worth putting yourself out there because you get far more than you give up.
Oh, absolutely. I have helped so many people, Dave, friends that were struggling, my kids as friends.
Right.
Broken homes, teenagers, 16 years old, no parents at home that give a flying fuck about them.
Right.
Sleeping on my couch, feeding
Yeah.
him every day. You met her, Ramsey.
Yeah.
Called me dad since he was 5 years old. Her mother died 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Brought her into my house like she was my own.
And no matter what happens in the future, what happens now, it's still worth it.
It's 100%. She recently moved out, which really hurt me and Teresa.
Yeah.
But you know what? I want the best for her.
Yep.
If she can do it, more power to you, baby. Fly. Fly as high as you can.
Yeah.
But it does hurt the way she did things. She moved out in the middle of the night.
It's okay. She's a kid.
She's a kid. What the hell? I met your sister at 17 years old. We was doing some nasty things, and she ain't doing half of them. So,
Right. Yeah.
you know what? If you feel that you can fly, spread them wings and fly.
Yeah. And and maybe she comes back around. Hopefully she does. Once you mature, she will.
She will, and I
Yeah.
know she will. It's gonna take her to crash, like we all did. Every
Yeah.
kid who thinks they know everything crashes and burns.
Or find out the truth about things.
Exactly,
Right.
exactly.
That's all. Type of music that you hate?
2020 hip hop rap shit. I got this on my jeans and gold in my teeth shit.
Trap rap?
Yes,
Bop.
yes,
Bop.
drives me fucking nuts.
I hate that.
You put the kids today against kids, like us when we were kids. We would kick the shit out of these kids.
Oh. Well, we're talking about music right now.
It involves music, is what I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
I grew up listening, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg,
Right.
going all the way back to the Sugar Hill
Yeah.
Gang.
Something with a melody in it.
Something with a melody. They were talking about something.
Yeah.
For instance, this shit. I got robins on my jeans. I hear the kids listening to that shit. What the fuck is a robin? It's a bird. Why is it on your jeans? Who cares? You got
Nobody.
a Glock, you got a Glock in your right. I got a Glock in my pants, motherfucker. You know what?
I got robins in my jeans. I don't know. I can't deal with it.
My kids listen to this shit at 10,000 decibels.
I try to
Until they
listen.
go to bed.
I try to listen to the rap station every once in a while to stay relevant because I do love music, but I can't take it. I
It's on
can't
your fucking nerves, don't it?
because they don't even rhyme words. They rhyme the same word after the same word. You listen. You got to be better. Go to a fucking poetry class, please.
Amen.
Can you please not use you to rhyme with you? It fucking drives me nuts.
That's why I love Method Man so much. That dude was lyrically talented. He knew what
the
he was
lack
saying.
of creativity, and it's the same fucking song over and over again.
Yep.
I do like Nicki Minaj though. Nicki Minaj talks some nasty shit, but she can rap though.
She sure can. My 15-year-old Taylor, she knows Nicki Minaj's music and that Megan Stallion horse lady, whatever.
The Stallion.
Yeah, and duh. She the Stallion.
Well, she is a big girl.
She is. But I listen to this shit, comes off of her phone, and I'm going, what in the fuck is this girl talking about? I'm like, this is some nasty bitch right here, That shit wouldn't have happened back in our day,
What are you talking? That's not true. I'm going to call bullshit. So in 1992, 1993, Teresa will remember I used to driving around in a gold Camaro with my buddy. I was in the passenger seat with the largest system in South Philly. It was fucking enormous. 15-inch woofers in a trunk, and we would play "Pop That Pussy."
Right? Okay.
Pop that pussy. Pop that pussy, baby.
Yep.
2 Live Crew
yeah.
is the most nasty shit on the planet.
Oh, yeah.
So that's Nicki Minaj does not even compare.
No, they don't. But it's hard when my 15-year-olds are.
Oh no, I hear you. I hear you, old man. I hear you. I'm only kidding.
But I did the same shit. We had some atrociously loud car stereos. My buddy Sean, he had it's ironic you said Camaro. He had a 90 Z28 Camaro.
Yeah.
That we had taken the back seats out of. We put 412s and 215s in this thing and like 10,000 watts. And we're cruising, we think we're the shit Mac Daddy, and we had this car stereo in there for about 3 hours. We're driving down the neighborhood and everything, and he had put this song on with this wicked ass like reverbed bass note in it, and
Yeah.
he ended up blowing the back window out of the car right in front of all these girls, you know. And all he did was sit there and laugh at us. And I'm
Yeah.
thinking to myself, we did all this work to look like we were the shit, and we just embarrassed ourselves more than anything, you know.
That car, you could hear it from literally a mile away.
Oh yeah,
It would, you could hear it would, he would, the license plate would rattle.
right.
So that's all you would hear. You would hear the reverberation
Yep,
of the license plate, literally, 6, 8 blocks away, almost a mile
that's
away.
awesome.
All right, what music do you love? What's your favorite type of music?
Metal, you know, not like death metal, where you can't understand them, you know. I mean, some of that shit, you know, I listen to Slipknot, you know, shit like
Yeah,
that. But
like
you,
Metallica.
Metallica, you know,
Who's your favorite band?
that's a hard one. That's a real hard one. You know, I've seen Pantera live in concert 5 times. You
Okay,
know, they were great. They were a great band, but I like a lot of the older shit. You know, like my favorite band to honestly listen to has got to be Led Zeppelin.
Zeppelin.
You know,
Yeah, sort of like
Jimmy
soft
Page.
heavy metal.
Yes, Jimmy Page and Robert Plant. They did Damage together. That was like Shaq and Kobe.
Yeah, like the beginning of heavy metal, I guess, right?
Exactly. You know, they paved the road that they're walking down today.
Yeah. What annoys you the most about people, other than them being stupid?
That's a good one. Them just being them. You know, I don't know.
How about just annoys you the most, like in the world? Like something that annoys you like every day that's just fucking annoying.
People don't know how to fucking drive. Stupidity, you know.
Yeah.
I sit in rush hour traffic every day coming home, and you got this motherfucker that wants to get off the freeway in the last 2 feet. You're in the far left lane, and you're going to come all the way across 6 lanes of traffic and cut me the fuck off to get off. You knew you had to get off there. You're not fucking dumb.
Yeah, that happened to me with a bus yesterday.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Yes, it did.
What do you admire most about others? Like, what quality about other people do you admire?
Just them being them. You know, like I said, people who love me back, you know, that show me respect. Respect's got to be earned, not given. I understand that, you know. But when I respect somebody with all the respect I have and they give it right back to me, I love it. You know,
Yeah.
it makes me feel good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, that's fair. You know, just get that quality of just giving it, like accepting respect and giving it back. I get it. I mean, yes, that feels great. I agree with you. How about if you were arrested and nobody knew what it was about? What would they think? What happened?
Carl must have fucking littered again. No, no, it'd have to be for fighting.
Yeah.
It definitely had to be for fighting.
If you could be the best at any one thing in the world, what would it
I'd be a porn star.
you'd be the best motherfucking porn star in the
That's
world.
right. Oh yeah, I would be slinging that dick a yard at a time. You know.
I
I'm
don't
sorry.
I don't need no fucking Viagra.
That's
I come back. And now I'm not talking about coming on her back. I mean, I'm coming back right after I. Anyway, I'll stop.
all right, right. I'm
All right.
sorry. I'm sorry. There's little ones in the room.
Uh,
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah, that's not good.
But there are kids, though. I mean, really,
Whatever.
they've heard worse. Fuck them.
Fuck it. What's your favorite curse word?
Oh, you fucking asshole.
So yeah, just that phrase there. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
you do say that a lot. I've heard you. How about your favorite sound? Your least favorite sound?
Daddy, I want.
Oh, that's a good one. That's annoying.
I hear it every day, 35,000 times a day.
Yeah. Well, we've been together like a week now, and he only got mad one time where he wanted to throw you through a wall. He was overheated and in the middle of downtown New York, in the middle of the sun when it happened. But it was mild.
It
But
was mild, very mild.
but I understand why.
You know, I want. Yep. It gets fucking annoying when all you'll give them the fucking world. Can I get this? Can I get this? Can I get this? I just spent $300 fucking on you today. What more can I get you? it gets annoying after a while.
Yeah. All right. Last question. What do you want to be remembered for when it's all said and done?
I was the best dad I could be, the best husband I could be, and I was a good, loving, caring person.
All right.
I tried my hardest.
You got anything else for me, buddy?
I think that's about it.
Oh, I made you cry. I made you laugh.
You did. It felt good.
All right, good. All right, I love you, buddy. Thank you for
too,
doing this.
brother. Absolutely. I enjoyed it.
For everybody else, until next time, I'm out.